Hey guys, it's Joe, and we're talking about all things relational. And the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about, and I know that Rick's talked a little bit about this as well, is just kind of clearing up some of the air around the unplugged MC model. A lot of people really enjoyed their MCs, and they're like, "Why are you unplugging me?" Which is a very okay way to think, but really, what we're trying to do is gather and do it as best we can but still follow the guidelines and stay safe. All right, so that's we just came up with a different name. It's not unplugging people from MCs, but it's a different name. We could have called it quality groups or quarantine groups or whatever. We just chose to call it the name Unplugged MCs. So there you go. So that's what they are. Is the really they're we're saying, hey, we have this amazing missional community model. We love it. We just can't do that, and so we need to do it on a smaller scale and with our circle of people that we're already involved with, maybe. So that lends the question: what if I don't have a circle of friends? Because there's some people that don't have a circle of friends. You moved into a new neighborhood. There's nobody around you, and it's too far away for someone to travel. So what I would do is reach out to the people that you love and know best. That might be from Westwoods, that might not be from Westwoods, and it could be family members, and gather together for 60 to 90 minutes and just talk about life, talk about prayer, talk about these guidelines that are at westwoodcc.org. You can find the MC discussion guide. It's a part of the program. It was also emailed out to everybody on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. last Sunday. So you can find all of that stuff that can help guide these discussions and have a meal. But the biggest thing that we're noticing right now is that the Sunday morning service it's not the same if you're just sitting and watching it around a computer. Rick made the example, like he just got up and got a, you know how he likes fancy socks, right? He just got up and went and got a pair of socks on during the service, and like it was, he didn't even realize he was doing it. And so I think that's a lot of us. I've watched the last 2 weeks from home, haven't been there, and what I've noticed is my attention span just goes. And so I think it's important that maybe we mix the unplugged MC with Sunday morning. Maybe you watch church during that unplugged MC, and that's it. And you have a few discussion questions, and pray for your friends that don't know Jesus. Like that's really all that we can hope for, is to be relational with people, because God calls us to be relational. He calls us to be in community. And so Dietrich Bonhoeffer says that great. Aristotle says that great. Like we have to be around people for our soul to fully come alive, because God created us as community-driven people. So maybe that looks like a Sunday morning, gathering with people, making some coffee, eating breakfast before or after, so it's not like, let's watch service and just eat breakfast. What happens with that is you're not engaged with the worship. You probably are distracted on what you're eating. So maybe have a meal before, or maybe have the meal after, and just gather with some people, because we can now. And I think, like I said last week, we've been given a gift to kind of slow down. And now that things are opening back up, we have a chance to invite people over to our house, to bring your neighbors into your house. You had those conversations with your neighbors. I know a lot of you have. What does it look like now to invite them over for dinner? You have to eat anyways, and just invite your neighbor. It's not hard, but it takes time and thoughtfulness, and to root those all in prayer and to point those all back to Jesus is what we want from you guys. What I want from my family. So would you consider doing that? It all counts. So whether it's a neighbor that comes over, whether it's a couple friends that you've been hanging out with, gathering together to have intentional conversations about Jesus will transform that relationship and transform your view of ministry and what you get to do and what you get to love. And God will honor that. He always will. That's what we're going to do tonight. And so some of you have been meeting with Unplugged MCs, or just meeting together with some people since we've been able to. And I would love to hear how that's going. I would love to know maybe what you're doing, maybe how you're trying to engage on a Sunday morning. how that has worked for you. Maybe some tricks, tips. Well, I can't speak. Maybe some tips and tricks on what that looks like would be awesome. We'd love to hear it. I hope you guys are all doing good. We're pulling for you. We love you. We are for you. And we're excited that we can start meeting in these Unplugged MCs. And it all counts. So don't feel like you have to set apart this holy night where everything has to be perfect. All you have to do is invite someone over. You can have some food, maybe. You can have some drinks, maybe. Whatever you guys want to do. Gathering together to be intentional about the ways of Jesus is our hope and my hope. And so, love you guys.